And good day all, this is Tehillim29, back again for another DC comic review, and in this DC comic review, it is Batman issue 122 by Joshua Williamson, and as you can see here, we are starting to deal with things after the death of Ra's al Ghul, and of course the variant cover. So, jumping straight away into the cover ratings, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside of the story? Sure enough, they are. So for the first one on the left hand side, cover 1, I gave an 8 out of 10, and for cover 2 on the right hand side, I also gave an 8 out of 10. I'll be using the regular trade press edition to show the internal art as well as showing some of the things inside of the story. So now it's time to start to look at some of the stuff that's happening around the beginning, middle and end, art-wise, so it can get its rating. So, here we go, moving into the beginning of the story, and we have Batman on the scene of the crime, investigating it. And I forget this person's name because Joshua Williamson forgot to put their name in this, even though they were in the first issue of Shadow War. They're not in this issue, so in that, it does actually sort of lead to a loss in points, but I'll get to that later. So here we have Batman in Washington DC, looking at and examining the place to which things occurred. And I really actually like this bit that we've got here with Batman. And how he can see things that have perpetrated in the events. It reminds me a little bit of what you see in the Arkham video games. And I really like that. And I think it's a real nice addition to add to the story. So at least we know his bat tech has improved since the estate. As we jump towards the middle of the story, guess who's back on scene with Batman? Well, in this case, catching up with Ravager, it's Damian Wayne, one of our Super Sons. Woo! And it's nice to see him actually finding Ravager, and of course, she wants to take care of Daddy-O. Whilst this is happening, Batman's travelled to Nepal, to the Demon Palace, to catch up with Talia al Ghul, and last but not least, towards the end of the story, to which we have Bruce Wayne finally catching up with Talia al Ghul. I want to point out that I will not be covering the backstory in this. So, for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the story rating. Starting off with first things first, did this story give us any comic book references to which might be important to the reader? No, but it wouldn't have hurt to have brought back Shadow War Alpha and maybe even a couple of issues before that, just to show a bit of an increase to the lead up of this event. Even the Deathstroke one would have been a good one to recommend, even though you do get the recommendations only at the end of the story, not towards the beginning of the story. That is another small criticism in regards to this. Moving into the area of time. Now, it would have been really good to see sort of like what time Batman was doing his investigation at the beginning of the book. Like what time of day or night. I think it really would have helped collaborate the story a little bit better in its execution. Moving into the locations. Now, this is something that was covered pretty good. And we got Washington DC, we had Nepal, the Demon Palace, but we didn't quite get the club to which Damian Wayne was going to. to get Ravager. The cast of characters consisting of Batman, Bruce Wayne, Deathstroke. We also had Prometheus and Respawn. We encountered 2 other new characters, Angel Breaker and Detonator. Or that's if they are actually new, they might not be. And of course, Damian Wayne Robin. And last but not least, we caught up with Talia and the League, the new Shadow League. Overall story rating for this is a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.